Guys, welcome back. This is Eric here with Guitarsenal. Just fooling around a little bit, kind of playing around a little bit here. We got a Magnatone M9. This one's made in the mid-60s. You guys know we love our Magnatone amplifiers around here. You're probably seeing a lot of Magnatones on the channel. I'm a fan of these amps. I like them. I think they're very unique and they have some cool characteristics going for them. So with the M-series amps, you know, we've done a video on the M10A. We have a video on the M8. The M9 is not unlike some of the other ones. The major differences is no reverb, and it has a 15-inch Jensen speaker. Other than that, the tone stack and the setup of the amp is very similar to its predecessors. This one does utilize a pitch shifting vibrato, which you heard in the intro there. All right, we'll disengage that. I do have a Flint, Strymon Flint going. I'm going to turn the reverb off. Here's just right into the amp, nothing going on. The amp is completely dimed. Actually grinds pretty well when you hit the strings hard. When you play softly, it mellows out a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of reverb on the Strymon Flint just for my sanity. I have to have a bit of a splash. That sounds kind of like this. Uses 7198 or 95 tubes. I can't remember the exact specs. I think they're 7195s, which is basically a high voltage EL84. Okay, people have used you know, socket adapters and adapted these to use EL84s. I personally feel like the amps kind of lose a bit of magic, You know, using the original tubes is definitely, I think, the way to make these things sing. Right now we're running into the stereo channel. You've got a bright, normal, and a mellow setting, volume and tone, very basic tone stack, and then your speed and intensity for your vibrato. One thing that added to the M9 that some of the other amps don't have, the predecessors to the M9, excuse me, is a standby mode. So it does utilize an actual real standby mode, which is nice. You can warm the tubes up and not have to have the amp in play. The 15-inch speaker gives this thing a really kind of airy, unique sound. It's a little different than some of the other ones. I would say this amp's a little more relaxed. It's not quite as angry as the M8. The M8 is a monster. It sounds really good. Maybe one day we'll get around to maybe A/B-ing some of these amps so you can hear them against each other. We're one of the only channels I know of that really dives into these Magnatones super heavy. There's a few channels that have some demos that are good quality on some of the vintage Maggies, but we really love our Magnatones here, so I hope you'll excuse if I nerd out a little bit. Let you hear the amp a little bit more. We'll layer it with some pedals. We've got the Strymon Flint providing some reverb. All right, with the trim. How about with a Noble's ODR Mini overdrive pedal? We'll see how this sounds. How about with a boost? The Mercury 4 from Spaceman Effects. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit warmed up today. It's the first video of the day. My hands are still a little stiff. Really cool though. I mean, I like the M9 a lot. I would say this amp is definitely maybe a little more tired sounding than some of the other predecessors. I feel like the M8 is probably the most angry that I've heard so far. The only amps out of this particular series of lineup from Magnatone that I have access to is the M8, the M9, and the M10. Out of all three of them, the M8 is still by far my favorite. It's got a very simplified tone stack. It's got reverb. It's got vibrato or pitch shifting vibrato, which is really cool. And the pitch shifting vibrato on this amp sounds nice too. I'll tell you what, let's re-engage it. And I'm just going to manipulate the tone, some of the controls a little bit for you here. And I'm going to let some chords ring out. That's the intensity maxed and the speed down. Here's the speed maxed and the intensity down a bit. Let's see how that sounds. All right, we'll manipulate some of the controls. Right now we got everything on bright and the tone and volume max. The amp is completely dimed. I'm going to go down to the normal setting. We'll leave the knobs where they're at. Let's just give that a listen real quick. Normal setting, everything maxed out, this time on the treble pickup. Okay, let's break down the tone a bit and let's get back on the bright setting, see how that sounds just backing off on the tone. And of course leaving it dimed because why wouldn't you, right? Okay. You can kind of pick way down near the bridge and get that sort of. Great for that kind of stuff, getting into that sort of that honky kind of, you know, bluesy country sort of thing, which is, it's really great for that. It's got a lot of overhead. It's kind of like a sedate Fender Deluxe. If you cranked a Fender Deluxe, it would get a lot hairier than this. So if you're looking for a clean overhead, the M9 is a great option. Hopefully this gives you an idea of what the amp can sound like. I want to thank you all very much for watching today's video. Tell you what, before we go, let's get on the mellow setting. Give that a listen. All right, so we're going to go to the mellow setting and let's increase our tone and see what sort of, you know, maybe we'll back off the tone by about a quarter a turn. And let's just hear how it sounds with the mellow setting, and I'll get on the neck pickup as well. So here's the bridge pickup on the mellow setting with the M9. Little more sedate than I'm probably used to and what I prefer. Try getting that tone back up. That mellow setting is mellow. All right, we're still on the mellow setting. Let's max it out and see what it sounds like in the neck pickup. Now on the bridge pickup. I could see all of those settings being certainly useful for various recording situations or performance situations. I have to say, I prefer the normal. I think I prefer the normal dined. Out of all the sounds that I've heard so far, I feel like that's kind of, you know, you're not quite so crazy on the top end in terms of treble, but I think it sounds nice right there. You can hit it with a little dirt. Back off on the tone control and get that kind of... I think that's cool. Guys, thanks for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Just trying to give you an idea of the, the sounds of this amplifier. Sorry for the crummy playing. It's a little early in the day. I'm still getting warmed up. Great, great amplifier though. I think it's really cool. It's got some great sounds. I wish it had reverb. That's me being selfish, but the 15-inch speaker really gives it some cool air going on in the sound. So guys, thanks for watching today's video. We post every Monday and Friday here on Guitarsenal. Make sure you tune in. We'll see you guys next time. All right, let's hit that trim one more time with the Noble's ODR Mini and let a few chords ring out here. Let's do it.